Hello, Nasdaq followers, and welcome to another episode of Nasdaq Spotlight. I'm your host, Leanne Alfaro, and you're joining us live right here in Times Square, where I'm joined by Couchbase CEO Matt Cain. Thank you so much for being here.
Leanne, great to be here. Always nice to spend time with our friends at the Nasdaq.
Absolutely. And so now you're here in New York, but just a little bit about a year ago, you were out in our entrepreneurial center speaking with our Nasdaq chair, Bruce Oust. So again, thanks for being here.
Yes.
Yet again. Tell us a little bit about what Couchbase does.
So first and foremost, Couchbase is a database company, and specifically we are a distributed cloud-to-edge database. So what does that mean? We believe deeply in the movement that we're seeing around the world that we call digital transformation, or the fourth industrial revolution. And the enterprises that we serve around the world, and many of whom I'm sure spend time here with you at the Nasdaq, are focused on how to use technology to get closer to their customers. And the interface between us as people and our digital worlds are applications. Now, software developers around the world are building applications to meet our needs as consumers and professionals, and it turns out, Leanne, we have very demanding needs. We want those applications to be personalized, we want them to work fast, we want them to work from anywhere around the world. In order for those to work, you need an underlying data platform to support those demanding requirements. And Couchbase is the leading platform that its purpose is to help accelerate enterprises with their application innovation.
Fantastic. And so you touch, I'm sure, a lot of clients, a lot of customers. Talk to us a little bit about your growth and what it's been like for the last few years.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating ride, and we're excited to continue on the journey. We focus relentlessly on ongoing differentiation and innovation. And since we've been together, we've released products across our portfolio. Our Server 6.5 product, where we announce multi-document ACID transactions, our Mobile 2.5 product, our Autonomous Operator 1.2. So we continue to wake up every day and solve some of the most challenging problems in the landscape of data. Because we do that, we are very fortunate to have many customers around the world, and we're seeing incredible results on the commercial side. We announced some news today on momentum that we saw in the first half. To give you a few stats there, the new business growth at the company was over 70%. Our total contract value was up over 100% year on year. Average deal size is up over 50%. We now call 30% of the Fortune 100 our customers. And as a company, because of that growth, we continue to hire actually at record levels across all functions in the company. So we're very proud of our growth. We're very focused on what we're going to do on an ongoing basis, but enjoying some of the success along the way and allowing us to reinvest in the business gives us a great sense of pride on where we're headed as a company.
Those are fantastic numbers, so congratulations on
thank
that.
You. Thank you.
With that change and growth has also come a rebrand and a new logo.
Yeah.
Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So we think it's really important that we talk about ourselves in a way that our technology is supporting customers. We believe, and our customers tell us, that we've developed the world's most powerful NoSQL engine. And that allows us to perform at scale, reliably, with flexibility that our developers and architects need to build the very applications that I talked about. At the same time, we've combined that with the power of the SQL query and programming language, and we're the only company on the planet that has done that.
Wow.
We've architected a very robust platform, and we have this concept called layer consolidation, where we can perform as a cache, we can perform as a multimodal database, we can layer on services like search and analytics, and we do this all in one elegant platform on behalf of our enterprises, which is unique value proposition. And finally, we can deploy that everywhere from the public cloud all the way out to the edge, including embedding ourselves as a database inside mobile devices. And I'd be willing to bet you have several Couchbase instances in your mobile device right now, whether you know it or not. So when you put all those things together, no other company on the planet has that combination and differentiation at an architectural level. And so we thought a great way to talk about that and really summarize our differentiation was Couchbase No Equal. So that's a little bit behind the updated brand positioning.
Fantastic. And now, in working with all of these enterprises, what do you think is kind of the keys to achieving your mission statement, which is tackling some of the world's, for companies, some of the world's most difficult problems that they have?
Yeah, so I think one of the very important trends that we're seeing in the market right now is the need for applications to work where data resides. And one of the paradigms that we bring to the market is how do we bring our platform where the data is, as opposed to trying to bring data where the platform resides. And with that, one of the critical components that our customers think through is their edge strategy. There's a lot of focus on cloud technologies, which is critically important, and we're participating in that. At the same time, enterprises like Nasdaq have very distributed environments, applications spread around the world with different data requirements. And that needs to perform without latency, in a non-disruptive way. And so I think more and more companies should be focused on their edge strategy and really understanding what data platforms they're deploying at the edge to create next generation experiences.
So you've actually already kind of addressed this, but in terms of trends, as we've seen other companies that we're in the time of the year where we're looking out, what are some of the main trends that we'll see delivered through Couchbase through your services?
Yeah, so let me expand on edge computing, with a couple use case examples. So one of my favorites comes in the cruise lines, which, believe it or not, is a very, very innovative segment where people are using technology to change their customers' experience. And one of the world's largest cruise lines, with the help of Couchbase, has completely changed the way in which passengers interact with the ship and other human beings on the ship while they're on a cruise. They've built a wearable that each customer gets, or passenger, when they're boarding the ship. And via the embedded database technology and the connections that we have to other platforms, our experience as a passenger is now completely enhanced with the interaction that I have via my wearable to the ship.
Wow.
It can do things like change the content that's offered in your cabin. It can change the digital display around the ship to give you optimal routes to your room or to the dining hall. It can do things using geospatial technology where, let's say we happen to befriend one another on the first night because we're enjoying, a football match. Well, what if we got a promotion, the next day for another football match and it drew us together, whereas if we just left it up to chance, there was probably zero probability that we're going to run into each other. So all these things are completely changing and enhancing the passenger experience on the ship. And you can imagine, like, when people talk about digital transformation and leveraging technology to change experiences, these are the types of things that companies are innovating on. But underneath the covers to enable that, you have massive data requirements, and you really need modern platforms like Couchbase to make all that possible. But I think edge computing and the customer experience that we are all expecting in retail and healthcare, and how we interface with our financial institutions, how we book travel, all of those things are going to happen with this magical combination of robust amounts of data, platforms that can handle that, and then applications on top that bring those two things together.
That's such an interesting use case.
Yeah.
Especially to enhance customers, the physical with all of the, and back it up with all the data and the technology.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Exciting.
cruise that I'd like to take.
Yeah, it's fun.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us and telling us a little bit more about Couchbase and your innovations.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we look forward to having you back soon.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Nasdaq followers, thank you again for joining us on another episode of Nasdaq Spotlight. Stay tuned for more coverage coming to you right here from the Nasdaq Market Site.